Breastfeeding isn't allowed if you're a teen mom. Mobile. So back in high school, one of my closest friends got pregnant and gave birth to the sweetest baby boy. She stopped going to school for a while to take care of her kid, but still did online school so she could graduate with her class. One thing we would do is go to one of the local food places near the high school on Fridays, and today we decided to go to this nice Chinese place that I frequent regularly, and the little old Asian lady knows me by name. This Chinese place has a sticker on the front door that says something like, "Breastfeeding will always be allowed," which is great since that's what my friend is more comfortable doing for her baby. After we ordered our food and hung out in this little waiting area, when the baby gets all fussy, she takes out the little cover and covers her baby and her chest as she starts to feed him. We keep talking until this woman and her son, who had to be around 10, comes in. I recognize the kid as one of the kids I looked after when I used to volunteer at a youth center. He comes up to me and starts talking to me, and then asks my friend what she's doing with the baby. Before my friend could answer, the boy's mother cuts in. "A disgusting thing is what she's doing. Don't you know better than to do that in public? And why are you even doing that if you're only a kid?" My friend has an attitude sometimes, so I try to jump in before she would start to throw things. It's not illegal, and Mrs. L is fine with it. She has a sticker on the door. Mrs. L being the little old Asian lady by the counter who was just oogling the baby a second ago. She smiles at us and continues to write some stuff down. The mother wasn't happy about this and continues with her BS. "I'm sorry, but I'm just not okay with a baby breastfeeding another baby. Can you please just stop?" she says in frustration. Mrs. L finally cuts in, and in her broken English she says, "Nursing baby is a beautiful thing. You have problem, you leave." She then taps the order on the window that leads to the kitchen and apologizes to my friend for the woman's nasty behavior. She then looks at the boy who is still next to me and says jokingly, "Your mother, she dummy, right?" This makes the boy laugh, and the mother just grumble in her seat, trying to stay as far from us as she could. When my friend finished and we grabbed our food, Mrs. L threw in an extra order of eggs rolled since they were my friend's favorite. Everything was fine until Monday came and I saw the boy again. He pulls me off to the side and tells me that his mom said she doesn't like me or my friend. I just ask him if he still likes me, and he says yes. Yay. You can't just throw out a stranded pregnant mother and her toddler at 3 a.m. in the cold. Oh yes, I freaking can. Buckle up everyone for this bumpy ride. Okay, so I was chilling in my living room around 3 a.m. playing some video games. My parents are out of town visiting some friends, and I decided to stay home, house to myself and all. So here I am, in nothing but bra and panties, when there's a knock on the door. WTF? I think to myself, so I scramble to get my clothes on and I answer the door. It was a family acquaintance with her already whiny little brat. She's also visibly pregnant, and we'll get to why that part is important later. Me. Hey name, what's going on? Her. My car broke down and tow company can't come get my car until tomorrow. Think me and brat's name can crash here tonight? Me. Sure, you guys can sleep in the living room, I let them in. Me. Want anything to eat or drink? Her. Coffee if it's not any trouble? Me. Sure, no problem. So I go to make some coffee when I see little crap picking up my controller. Me. Hey little guy, please put that down. Her. Oh, can't he play a game? Me. No, I'm in the middle of something, plus he wouldn't know how to play the type of game. Her. But he really wants to. Don't you, little crap? Little crap. I want to play. Me. No, you can't play. Little crap. I want to play, I want to play, I want to play, away. H throws the freaking controller at the TV, shattering the screen. Me, what the fudge? I rush over to the TV. Her. Hey, don't you swear at my child. Me, you just freaking let him destroy my TV like this. Her. You're the one who didn't let him play the video game. Me. I said no, and you have to teach your brat that he isn't owed jack crap. Her. How dare you? Just wait until I tell your mother about how you treated him. You'll make a terrible mom. Me. I'm not having kids, but if I did, I wouldn't let them be spoiled little shits like brat. Her. You are being the brat right now. Just get a new TV and quit whining. Me. Yeah, I'll get a new TV with the money you pay me for the broken TV. Her. What? But you are the one who instigated little crap. Me. You know what? Just get the fudge out of my house. You and your brat are no longer welcome in my house. Her. What the fudge is wrong with you? I'm pregnant and have a toddler and have nowhere to go. You can't just kick out a stranded pregnant mother and her toddler at 3 a.m. in the cold. Me. Oh, yes, I can, you insufferable jerk. Get the fudge out of my house before I call the cops. Her. Picking her brat up and heading towards the door. Just wait until I tell your mother about this. Me. Yeah, I'll gladly tell her about what little crap did to the TV and that you refused to pay for it. Her. You'll regret this. Leaves. The next morning I called my parents and explained what happened. They were very understanding because I was never raised to be a spoiled little cum-stain, and mommy jerk got an earful from my mom that if she didn't pay back we would take her to small claims. She tried to play the, oh woe is me single pregnant mother blah blah crap, but it didn't work and she forked over the $500 for the new TV and we cut contact with her. Edit. In case anyone else was wondering, the reason Breeder and her shit stain were out at 3 a.m. was because little crap demanded McDonald's and refused to go to bed unless he got it. We're having a sixth kid we can't afford, so we expect you to give us your college fund. Here's the. Yesterday afternoon, I got a call from my older brother. He told me that my mom has miscarried. This is hardly surprising as she's in her 42nd. I felt a huge wave of relief wash over me. My siblings' lives would not be worsened by my parents' insistence on adding another mouth to feed on an already tight budget. My sister would not be asked to give up her inheritance so they could have money for their new baby. My brother told me my mom had been crying, and while I did feel bad for her, I was still glad to hear about the miscarriage. I feel like we all dodged a huge bullet. Bro asked me to move back in for a while to help comfort my mom. I told him I wasn't going to move in because 1. My college would reopen in a few days, and 2. I'm done with all the family drama. However, I did agree to come visit my mom, if only out of courtesy. In the evening, I went over to my parents' place. I took chocolate chip muffins for my mom, which I know she likes. My sister greeted me at the door and told me mom had been in bed all day. After greeting my dad, I went into their bedroom. Mom was sitting up on the bed. I told her I was sorry about what happened and placed the muffins on the bedside table. She looked at me angrily, then threw the muffins at me. She screamed at me that she had lost her baby because of me. She said I had caused her stress and it's what caused her to miscarry. She said I was probably glad her baby was dead, which is true, but of course I didn't point that out. She called me a witch and said I had wished this upon her. She was screaming so loudly, all my siblings and my dad came rushing to the bedroom. She yelled at me to get out. I did. I hugged my older brother and sister. Before I left, my DD told me my mom was right, that my cruelty caused her to miscarry. I told him that was a grossly unfair accusation and reminded him that at mom's age, it was quite common to miscarry. Then I walked out. I'm so done with my parents and their stupidity. I can only hope they won't try for another kid. Entitled mother brings along her kid to work unannounced. Background. My company sets up a booth at an carnival and we engaged several part-timers to assist at the carnival. The part-timers are required to go around the carnival ground to distribute flyers, share information, and direct visitors to our booth. The story. On the day of the carnival, after setting up, I met up with the part-timers to prepare them for the day. Out of all the part-timers, only entitled mother was late. She mentioned she will be 15 minutes late, but it was closer to an hour. As we couldn't wait, I briefed the others and deployed them for the day. When entitled mother arrived, she had her kid in tow, 5 to 6 years old. Due to job nature, we can't have her lugging her kid while working. Entitled mother knew this. Entitled mother. My husband couldn't handle, so I had to bring her along. Me. I can't have you working with your kid. Entitled mother. It's not my problem. If you don't like it, get someone to watch over him. My colleague, C, who was watching this unfold, offered to watch over her kid. He was only required to help out during the start and end of the carnival, so was entirely free during the event. I thought, all right, since he was free. C, I can watch over her, get her some food, watch some shows, play some games. But you'll need to pay me. Entitled mother. Whatever. But I'm not paying you for your time, only for. C, grinning sure. I was flabbergasted. C told me not to worry. He had a plan. Once Entitled Mother started working, she brought Entitled Mother's kids systematically through every single booth throughout the entire carnival. It was the kids' dream come through and, I believe, her best day ever. Whatever she wanted to eat, she bought. She saw a lot of the shows and won many prizes. Since he had an staff pass, he didn't need to pay for the shows, only for the kid. At the end of the carnival, when we were clocking the hours worked, Entitled Mother had the nerve to insist to be paid full even though she was late for almost 1 hour. She said that because of various reasons, mainly due to her kid, she would have been early. She was ranting and I didn't really pay any attention, as I was tired and I don't decide on the pay, but it was about how I will never understand as I don't have kids and how she deserves it because she was a mother. My manager nearby winked at me and took over. He said he was very pleased with the day's sales and how we are very supportive of her and we should give kids the best. He told not to worry about the hours she worked and Entitled Mother will be paid in full. After hearing this, not even a single thanks from Entitled Mother, she declared in a loud voice, "At least someone understands." She had this condescending and victorious look on her face. Thankfully, it didn't last long. The sucker punch for Entitled Mother was that Entitled Mother's kids spent roughly 100, and with Entitled Mother's pay at 15 per hour for 8 hours equals 120, she made a whooping 20 for the whole day. She made it a point to keep track of the expenses, receipts, tickets, stubs, etc., and took tons of photos. Of course, Entitled Mother threw a fit, but with the amount of evidence and her daughter vouching for all the fun she had, Entitled Mother had no case except to yell, "I'm not paying for this," grabbed her daughter and stormed off. We look forward on payday when we issue her a check of 20 after subtracting the amount her daughter spent. Edit. Regarding pay deductions, it's not illegal because Entitled Mother is technically not an employee, her choice not ours. Entitled Family arrives late to restaurant, demands Wi-Fi and insults my great-grandparent. They end up paying 20 times the price of the menu. Edit. Platinum. Many thanks, kind stranger. Silver 2. Love. Good morning, Reddit. Just allow me a few disclaimers before I start. First, have in mind that this story takes place in the north of Spain, Asturias. Therefore, I will try to give the necessary context so the cultural barrier is as little as possible. Second, that this is my first post in this community. Third, I'm Spanish, so please forgive me for any orthographical edit. It's orthographic / facepalm or grammatical mistakes, however, feel free to point them out to me if you want. This got longer than I expected. I'm missing an XXXL tag. Now let's get started. First of all, I will give out some context, so feel free to skip this and go directly to the story. This took place a couple of years ago, when I was 17, and I used to spend part of my summers helping in my grandpa's restaurant. The restaurant was located in the bottom floor of our family house in a little village, 30 inhabitants, and my great-grandparents, the parents of my mom's mom, lived in the upper floor. In the restaurant, my great-grandmother and my grandma were in charge of cooking and my great-grandparent and granddad were in charge of attending the tables. It was kinda small as it had like 8 tables of 4 on the inside, and we could set another 2 outside if the weather was good. As the restaurant also served as a bar, it was filled with locals, and as many of them were retired, they used to spend the whole day playing cards and drinking beer/wine. So although it was a small location in summer, usually was full of people. Also, please have in mind that my great-grandparents founded this restaurant in the year 1941, therefore it was well known and had a good reputation among the locals. I'm also proud to say that my great-grandparents were very loved in their community as they really were great people. Although it was a quite remote place, in summer we used to get like 4 or 5 groups of tourists per week, and the rule was that my brother and I were in charge of serving their tables, as we were the only ones who knew any other language than Spanish. Our opening hours at the time were from 12 to 22:30, but the kitchen was only open from 13 to 1500 hours, and from 1930 to 2100 hours. We only served one menu, composed by a starter, 2 main dishes, dessert, and cider or water. 10. So now the story. For convenience, I will use the following abbreviations. M. Entitled Mother Yef. Entitled Father SK. Spoiled Kid, 7 years old, GGP. Great-grandparent M. Me. It was around 1600 hours, therefore most of the customers had finished eating and were chatting over a cup of coffee or some liquor. My grandparents and great-grandparents were still eating as they waited until everyone was finished. Therefore, my brother and I were in charge of serving the tables just in case anyone wanted something else to drink. Suddenly, we hear a car outside and I can hear a woman loudly speaking in English. As soon as they enter, this happens. Entitled Mother. We would like to have a table. X from the Y Hotel told us this was a great place to eat. I'm sorry, ma'am, but the kitchen is already closed as it's kinda late. Entitled Mother. Yes, it's late because we got lost in this damned roads. Is it so difficult to put proper signals? Also, we have a little kid that is hungry. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Let me check if I can do something for you. I then went inside and explained the situation to my grandma, who told me to attend them as everything was already prepared, and it would be just heating the food. Entitled Mother. Well, are you going to give us a table or not? If the kitchen is closed, how is it that those people are eating? Pointing at my grandpa's? At the moment, I thought she was behaving like that because she was kinda hungry, and I wasn't really used to dealing with rude people, as the majority of tourists used to be really respectful. Well, those are the owners, so they can eat whenever they want. I said this while laughing a bit. Anyway, I have just asked them, and you will be able to eat too. So please follow me to your table. They follow me to the table and I explain to them that there is only one menu. They give me a strange look, but they seem okay with that. I serve them the bread and I put a bottle of water on the table. They start devouring the bread, so they were a bit rude because they were hungry theory seemed to be confirmed. As soon as I bring the starter, Yef demands to have the Wi-Fi password. Yef. Hey, we have seen that there is a Wi-Fi network. Which is the password? Yes, there is one. However, the Wi-Fi is for the staff personal use. We had a measured and really slow connection that had like 5 gigabits of data, which my grandpa used for checking some newspapers and my brother and I used for sending WhatsApps to our friends. That's nonsense. We are paying customers and we deserve to have access to your Wi-Fi. Entitled Mother. Yes, our little angel wants to watch some videos. We don't have any kind of internet access here. Sorry, but as I have said, it's for personal use. Entitled Mother. That's not right. This would be unacceptable in America. Well, I'm sorry to inform you that we are not in America. The entitled mother tells something to the SK, and then he starts running around the restaurant, stomping his feet and shouting. My great-grandparent comes to me and asks me what is happening. I explain the whole situation to him, and he asked me to please translate what he is going to say. Gigi, please lady control your child, or I will have to ask you three to leave. Entitled Mother. Don't you dare tell me how to raise my child, you dinosaur. Don't get close to my child, you old creep. By this point, everyone is of course looking with disbelief to these morons. I doubt for a sec, but translate all of this to Gigi, expecting a not really nice reaction. Instead of saying anything, he slowly turns around and asks 2 men who are sitting on a table to take the whole family out of his restaurant. I proceed to explain to the family that if they don't get out, those 2 men, who also happen to be 2 guardias civiles, like rural police forces, would be taking them out. They don't seem to believe that those 2 men were policemen, and they refused to leave until we served them. Finally, both men stood up, showed their plaques, and asked them, in their best English, to leave. Entitled Mother Yef and SK finally stand up and leave. However, as they were leaving, the policemen realized that they had parked in front of our garage, blocking it, in a zone signaled as a no parking zone. So they decided to ask for their rental car papers while taking a couple of photos and giving them a $200 fine for blocking a private property garage. Okay, this ended up being far longer than I expected. On my behalf, I have to say that I have family in the USA and that all Americans I have met in the USA are really nice people, so please don't take this as an American bashing post. I hope you all have a good day.